The levels of awareness the soul goes through based on Paramahansa Yogananda's teachings. The soul, as described by Swami Paramahansa Yogananda, is inherently divine and limitless, yet it becomes entangled in the illusions of the material world. Yogananda often said, "Man is a soul and has a body," emphasizing that our true essence is not the physical form but the infinite consciousness within. However, due to Maya, illusion, the soul forgets its divine nature and goes through different stages of awareness before reuniting with God. The journey of the soul is one of awakening, progressing from deep ignorance to ultimate enlightenment. This process, according to Yogananda, can be understood in distinct levels, each representing a shift in consciousness. The first stage is complete delusion and material attachment. The first stage of awareness is the state of complete delusion, where the soul is deeply attached to the physical world. In this phase, man identifies solely with the body, senses, and material possessions. Yogananda said, "Man's greatest mistake is to identify himself with his mortal body and lose sight of his immortal soul." At this level, one believes happiness comes from external achievements, wealth, fame, and relationships, without realizing their transient nature. The soul, covered in ignorance, remains trapped in cycles of suffering, constantly seeking fulfillment in things that cannot satisfy its eternal nature. The second stage is the awakening of self-inquiry. The second stage is the awakening of self-inquiry, where a person begins to question life's deeper meaning. This occurs when suffering or dissatisfaction forces one to look beyond the material world. Yogananda explained that pain is often the soul's way of prompting spiritual awakening. He said, "Trials are not meant to destroy you, but to stimulate you to recognize your inner power." Here, the soul starts seeking wisdom, turning to scriptures, spiritual teachers, or introspective practices. This stage is crucial because it marks the beginning of spiritual longing, where one realizes that lasting happiness cannot be found in external pleasures alone. The third stage is intellectual understanding but limited practice. The third stage is intellectual understanding, where one gathers spiritual knowledge and begins to comprehend deeper truths. People at this level may study the Bhagavad Gita, the Bible, or the teachings of saints, forming a conceptual awareness of God, karma, and the purpose of life. However, Yogananda warned that mere intellectual understanding is not enough. Reading books on wisdom is good, but using that wisdom in life is better. Many remain in this stage for a long time, debating philosophy but failing to internalize the teachings through personal experience. The soul, though more aware, is still bound by ego and superficial knowledge. The fourth stage is inner experience through meditation. The fourth stage is inner experience, where true meditation and devotion begin. Yogananda emphasized the importance of techniques like Kriya Yoga, which accelerate the soul's evolution by awakening inner divine consciousness. He said, "Meditation is the science of reuniting the soul with God." At this level, a person no longer relies solely on external sources but begins experiencing divine peace, joy, and inner guidance. The soul starts to detach from worldly illusions, recognizing itself as a reflection of the infinite. Regular meditation dissolves mental restlessness and strengthens the awareness of one's true nature. The fifth stage is spiritual realization and unity with creation. The fifth stage is spiritual realization, where the ego dissolves, and one perceives the unity of all creation. Yogananda described this as the state of self-realization, where the soul recognizes its oneness with God. He wrote, "The wave realizes it is not separate from the ocean." Here, all desires fade, replaced by an overwhelming love for God. The person at this stage lives in a state of divine bliss, untouched by suffering or worldly attachments. Miraculous experiences, divine visions, and a deep sense of universal love characterize this phase. The sixth and final stage is ultimate God union, Samadhi. The final stage is God union, where the soul completely merges with the infinite. This is the highest state of awareness, known as Samadhi, perfect union with the divine. Yogananda described it as, in that state, the little self is lost forever, the soul becomes one with the ever-existent, ever-conscious, ever-new bliss of God. Here, the journey ends, and the soul achieves moksha, liberation, free from all karmic bonds. Thus, the soul's journey is a gradual ascent from ignorance to enlightenment, guided by sincere effort, meditation, and divine grace. Yogananda reassured seekers that no soul is lost forever. Each one will, in time, return to its divine source. He lovingly said, even the worst sinner will one day awaken to his divine nature. This gives hope to all. No matter where one stands on this path, the destination is always the same, reunion with the God.